The following is a transcript of the journal entries by Sergeant Major Wilson Boswell, a member of the expedition team to an uncharted island in the Atlantic Ocean. The journal was found aboard a makeshift raft made from planks and plastic jugs, along with a collection of 15 dog tags in a small Ziploc bag. September 11th, 1987. My name is Wilson Boswell, and I am a sergeant major in the U.S. Army. Today, we received word that me and my squad are going on an expedition to the Atlantic Ocean. Something about an island. I've decided to start a journal to log all that we will see, for some kind of record. We're leaving tomorrow. September 15th, 1987. We've been here for 3 days and 2 nights already. The flora and fauna here are incredible. There are bright pink flowers which have seeds that explode into bright firework-like bursts of color. There are mouse-like creatures with antlers that bark like dogs. Even the grass seems to turn towards us, as if watching with curiosity. Our biologists on the team, Carter and Annie, are baffled by all these new discoveries. We're all rearing to continue on and find more incredible things and the other secrets that this island holds. September 19th, 1987. We've been walking through some pretty dense forest for the past day or so, but something strange happened to us last night. We had set up camp, lit our campfire and lanterns, and settled in for the evening. But then we heard something in the surrounding woods. It sounded big. Really big. You could tell by the shuffling sounds that it made while moving. It was a bit unnerving, sure, but I wasn't too worried. The biologist told me that it was most likely just some kind of nocturnal herbivore interested in our fire and lanterns. It makes a lot more sense when you think about it, and it put my mind at ease. September 20th, 1987. It's morning now, and we've made another unnerving discovery. We reached a clearing of trees about 30 feet across, but instead of there just being no trees, there were stumps, as if something big had walked through and sheared them all down. There seems to be a trail where the thing had walked. My superiors are discussing whether or not to follow the trail and to see what we find. September 20th, 1987. Entry 2. After speaking with the superiors, we decided this opportunity was too good to pass up. We've decided to follow the trail. I'll update you more on our findings. September 22nd, 1987. Holy crap. Yesterday we found that thing. No, I guess it found us. We were walking along the path when we realized that it had become a clearing with no pathways out, a complete circle. Here we were, right smack dab in the middle of it. It was like the bullseye of a target. The silence was palpable, and you could almost feel the tension in the air. And then it dashed out of the tree line, faster than almost anything I had ever seen. It was massive, easily 25 to 30 feet wide, and it had to be at least 20 feet tall. It resembled a massive lizard, with green scales and massive jaws that could easily swallow a cow. but it also had a long black mane like a horse, matted and tangled with branches, leaves, and, oh yeah, bones. Most of the skin on its face was missing, seemingly peeled away by a lifetime of fighting for its survival. The yellowed teeth smiled back at us, a complete contradiction to the shining white skull that glinted in the daylight. It was clearly focused on killing us, so we opened fire on the thing. Our bullets did nothing to it. I swear, I could see them bouncing off the hide of the creature and falling right into the dirt. As it closed the distance between us, our commander, Hitch, called for a retreat back into the tree line. We began to sprint towards the towering plants, the rumbling of the beast behind us growing ever closer. Just as we were about to make it, I heard a chomp, the crack of bones, and a scream that was cut way too short. I turned to see it lifting Tommy up, one of our soldiers, away. His legs were hanging limply from the beast's jaws. His rifle lay on the ground, splattered with his own blood. One of his boots had fallen off of his lifeless foot. Knowing that he kept one of his dog tags in his boot, I ran over and retrieved it. There was no way that I was going to let the world forget about him. While the beast was distracted, the rest of us managed to make it back into the tree line. After it had finished with Tommy, the thing looked around, searching for the rest of us. When it didn't find us, it stood for a moment and then lumbered away, searching for its next target. We need to get off of this island. If something like that was able to evolve here and thrive, I can only imagine the other horrors that await us. September 29th, 1987. I just don't understand. Why haven't we retreated back to the mainland? Do we know too much? Does Command just not care about us? Either way, we need to find a way off this godforsaken island, and soon. My collection of my comrades' dog tags has risen up to 6. Despite all the gear in my pack, they're the heaviest things that I carry. We lost 3 people to another abomination of the island. This one resided in the dense woods that cover the whole island. 2 days after our run-in with the ugly dinosaur, that's what we called it, we were still trekking through the dense trees. Our nerves were still on edge, and we were all about just ready to shoot anything that even moved. Suddenly, a scream echoed through the silence, along with the desperate fire of a rifle. We all turned to see Mary, one of the newest members of our team, being dragged through the underbrush, her clothes catching and tearing on the bushes. Having lost grip of her rifle, she had drawn her pistol and she was firing at her feet. No, at whatever had held her feet. It was a furry brown creature, about the size of a Labrador, but the thing was so fast that I couldn't make out anything else about it. My heart was racing. I raised my guns to help Neri, but I stopped. If I tried to shoot at the thing dragging her, I would just end up killing my own comrade. As I was thinking over my conflictions, I heard 2 more screams and more bullets being fired. And 2 more of us, Autumn and Gerard, They were being dragged away just like Mary had. They screamed out in pain and fear, which only riled our attackers up even more. As I looked around, before I knew it, my comrades were all gone, with the only clue of their existence being the packs and shreds of clothing on the underbrush. We all started to look around to see what we could find, while everybody else began to ration the ammo and the food out. I was searching among the brush for more tags. Luckily, the glint of 3 more chains met my eye. I don't know what we're gonna do from here. We don't know what the heck else is on this island, or what they are capable of. October 13th, 1987. There's only 4 of us left. Everybody else is gone. Why? Why has God allowed these things to exist? Is this some kind of penance for our sins? Is it a reckoning? We lost 4 people in the swamps yesterday, pulled under the water by some kind of tendril, all their gear bubbling up to the surface. We could have sworn that they were just reeds. I mean, they were so still. What kind of creature can keep that still? We lost 2 more to some kind of birds. They had swarmed a biologist. Annie was devoured within 30 seconds. Carter was carried up at least half a mile and then dropped. He screamed as he fell through the air. The sound he made when he hit the ground, it was sickening. After he was gone, the birds picked him apart, paying me and the others no mind. Our other 3 comrades, one of which was the leader, Hitch, were killed by infection. They had all been injured at some point, and they must not have cleaned their wounds properly. Their skin had turned a yellowish green, with cysts appearing all over their bodies. They suffered until their last moments, where even then, they had no peace. Have you ever seen a picture of the cordyceps? You know, the fungus. That stuff, it grew out of my comrades, my friends. It looked exactly like it. We are all huddled in a small cave right now. Me, Barrett, and another soldier named Kimberly. We're thinking of a plan to escape this island. October 13th, 1987. Entry 2. A raft. That's our plan. A simple raft. We're going to fill plastic jugs with air and then tie them to some wood. Good thing we keep ropes in our packs, right? If this raft plan doesn't work out, we have to find another way to escape. We're running out of options. October 15th, 1987. I'm all that's left. Barrett and Kimberly are gone. All I have to remember them are by their dog tags. The raft worked at least. We spent about an hour making the thing. We carried it down to the beach and we were about to launch off, but then everything went crazy. We were walking down to the beach in silence, passing these strange, cone-shaped pits in the sand. You could feel the excitement of getting off this island in the air, but then the sand at Barrett's feet flew up, and he was just gone, his pack and hat laying on the ground. Me and Kimberly looked at where Barrett was standing, the only evidence of what happened being a small disturbance in the sand. I grabbed his pack and we started running with the raft. We got down to the shoreline and threw the raft in. I climbed on and reached out for Kimberly's hand, but just as she attempted to jump to the raft, something grabbed a hold of her foot. It looked like some kind of massive insect with vice-grip jaws. It crushed her foot like an eggshell. She screamed in pain and tried to grab my hand as the waves pulled me out to sea, but the thing pulled her towards it, yanking her back. Instead of grabbing her hand, I managed to grab the chain around her neck, and I prayed to every god that I could imagine that I would hold. But the thin metal chain had no chance against the strength of the creature. The chain snapped and Kimberly fell back onto the shore, and then more sand flew up, but this time I saw her get pulled under the sand. Before she went under, our eyes met and the look in her eyes was one of pure terror. And then she was gone, just like Barrett. I spent a while sobbing on the raft before falling asleep for God knows how long. But I woke up with a sunburn, so it must have been a while. October 16th, 1987. There's something in the water. I don't know what it is, but it's massive. I think it has some kind of tentacles though. I can see them trailing behind it and I'm worried. What if the thing is following me? I suspect that this may be my last entry. To whoever finds this journal, don't let anybody go to that island. There are some parts of the world that are left untouched, parts of the world forsaken by God. It's best we don't see why.